Hi, St. Peter's. It's Brenna, and I'm coming to you today from Rhode Island, actually from another church called St. Peter's. This is St. Peter's by the Sea in Narragansett, which is where I am this week. And I'm coming to you from this church because it has, let me see if I can show you behind me, a labyrinth. There it is. You can kind of see it. So I first started walking a labyrinth as a prayer practice about 10 years ago. And in the time since then, not always, but sometimes when I'm traveling, I have this website that I go to, I think it's called Locate a Labyrinth. I think it was set up probably by like an order of sisters like 20 years ago. It's very humble, but it's just basically an index of different labyrinths that are all over. And so sometimes when I'm traveling, I look for one kind of near where I am. So I've walked a bunch of these in different places, and they're all a little bit different. Sometimes they're in churches like this, sometimes they're set up in gardens. I walked one on a prairie in Kansas once. And I've also used that locator to try to find ones in New York City, which I recommend if you ever want to do it yourself. But if not, I thought we could see kind of what a little virtual labyrinth walk might look like. We'll see how it goes. So if you're not familiar with labyrinths as a prayer practice, it's a way of praying with your body, praying with your feet as a pilgrimage. So as you can see behind me, this is just like a little map, essentially, a little maze that this church is built out of gravel and stone. But unlike a corn maze or like a hedge maze, there's no wrong turns and there's no dead ends. There's just one path. And so you can kind of walk your way in through to the center right here. And then the way to get out is to retrace your steps. So different people have different ways of doing it. Some people like to meditate on different scripture passages. For me, I like to think of it as 3 different kinds of phases on my walk on the way in. I spend time in prayer, kind of in supplication and reflection of just checking in, seeing what's been weighing heavy on me, where I feel need, and kind of what I'm carrying for the moment. And then the center is a place of stillness and presence. And I use my time in the center, which kind of varies depending on where I am, as a time of just being receptive and listening. And then the way back out for me is always a time of gratitude and appreciation, of recognizing the places where I feel God's peace and courage. So we'll see how this goes to do it virtually, but come along for a labyrinth walk. Thanks for joining me, you guys. I hope you have a blessed week.